Hey guys, what's going on? This is me, One Time Anthony, back with another video. Today we're doing what if Deku had a few quirks. I'll just name one right now. He has Man of Steel as his quirk. Basically, over time his body gets harder, as in like his physical body, like muscles get harder, his bones get harder. And by the time he's 4, he's stronger than Diamond. Yeah, like every day they get a bit stronger. And one of his other quirks are like regeneration. Basically, it's ultimate regeneration. I've said the abilities in my on one of my previous videos, but basically he can regenerate from anything as long as he has one cell left. He also has what's it called cloth hardening. Basically, he can harden anything that is like shirt. Let's say he has a banana on his arm or something. He can stretch that out all around his arm and harden it, kind of like Deku did it with the gauntlet from My Hero Academia, the movie with Melissa. Deku also has something called Analyze. He can analyze people's quirks and can copy them, but it's weaker than theirs, and they get to keep their quirk. And by the way, these quirks by the way, he actually has another quirk called None. None for all. Basically, what it does is no one can take his quirk. He also has an immortality quirk. So yeah. He has a lightning quirk as well. Basically, it's basically like Godspeed, but makes him, but not anywhere near as good as right now. He has shock absorption, air cannon, and he also has strength. I think, like kind of like what Orph once said with his combinations of quirks. Basically, he has um spring-like limbs. Basically, puts a spring in his step, makes him going around a lot more faster, and making his shock absorption much stronger. Yes, uh, he has this levels quirk, which basically has once his body can handle it, he gains another level, and he can put uh levels on any of his abilities like strength, but they go up to 10 only. Just so you know, like strength, agility. But I think he can only put 10 on 3 at a time, and the rest he can put 9. The rest he can put up to 5, and then after 3 fives, he can only do 2, and that's the rest. So yeah, it's a pretty unique quirk. I thought it would be good. Deku, sorry, you're probably wondering how Deku got all these OP ass quirks, and that's because his father is all for one. JK, his mother's actually all for one. No, I'm joking with that one as well. Deku is gifted these quirks by his father, Nine, basically. Like his father's Nine, but Nine has more quirks, basically. Yeah. Deku also has something that I like to call well, it's pretty good. Basically, this quirk is a combination of, well, technically it's multiple quirks, but it's just one quirk. Um, it's kind of like Reaper's abilities. He can teleport in shadows. He can create shotguns, hellfire shotguns. Yeah, it's basically a bit of like Reaper and Doom Guy's abilities mixed together. Because whenever he defeats a foe, he gets 2% stronger. And he doesn't gain muscle mass, but he gains muscle density instead, basically making his muscles look the same but much, much more dense. Like, if you were to unravel Deku's muscles, on a football field, there'd be about 3 football fields long, basically. Oh, and just so you know, Deku's dad is around every now and then, because he loves his son, and he honestly does. But he can't always be around. And All For One is actually his grandfather. That's how he got the extra quirks. Now, this is his last quirk I'm going to tell you about before I actually get into it. He actually has protection quirk. Well, it's kind of protection and time. Protection / time quirk. Basically, it involves protection, basically. Deku can slow time to the point where no one can move except for him, and it protects it. Hey, yo, give me a second, guys. Sorry, I thought my dad came home for a second. I'm like, Jesus Christ, he's not meant to be home for like 2 hours, so yeah. Anyway, let's get into this. Deku, one day, Katsuki tries to blow him up, but, something interesting happens. He, like, carries the shockwave and claps his hands, basically, and the shockwave of the explosion comes back at Bakugo 2 times stronger. Bakugo just got his shit rocked. That's all I gotta say. And he analyzes Bakugo's quirk. And he can choose whether to take it or not, just so you know. And he just makes Bakugo quirkless. He can give him back if it's the original owner as well. He goes like, ha ha, Bakugo, you don't have a quirk. I just allowed you to use mine, basically. And Bakugo, I'm like, I'm not quirkless, you damn Deku. Give me my quirk back. He goes like, why would I give a quirkless loser their quirk when it wasn't even theirs in the first place? He keeps trying to pass it off as Bakugo was always quirkless, and he felt pity for him. One day, Izuku's mother demands that Deku give Katsuki his quirk back, and he goes, no. He goes like, Katsuki never had the quirk, it was mine originally. And he goes like, that doesn't work on me, Izuku. He goes like, but I'm not lying. And his mother starts to believe him, and he goes like, fine. He goes like, I knew Bakugo was quirkless because I analyzed it to see what quirk he is to tell him, and he didn't have a quirk, so I gave him my explosion quirk. Remember how I set off those explosions a few years ago? And she goes like, yeah, I do. There's still scorch marks on the ceiling because of it. Anyway, now let's time skip a bit farther where he goes to see his grandfather, and he goes like, Grandpa! And in this one, All For One isn't a big villain, like big time villain anymore. He devotes himself to his family. And when he touches Izuku, he just knows that Izuku is gonna be the boss of the fucking world. So he just gives him like All For One, and All For One keeps a copy. and Deku gets all the quirks that All For One's gotten over the years. And Deku just feels like, Jesus Christ, I'm a god now. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, so Deku takes a realization that most heroes are fake. Anyway, time to get a few years. All Might realizes that he didn't kill All For One. And Deku, and that Deku's his grandson, and he's gonna pull All For One and turn their grandson against them, basically. Gives gives Deku One For All. And yeah, fucks his shit up, basically. Basically, Deku is able to use 80% of One For All from the start. Now, because shock absorption, he will not break bones, but it will stress his muscles out a bit. Anyway, yeah, Deku is like he's like 10 at this point in time. Deku is beating the shit out of everyone, technically. If you think about it, like, he has hundreds of thousands of quirks. Now, Analyze is always activated. He basically can always see the quirk, but he can only copy it if he wants to. Now, one day, Deku sees this quirk. That's very interesting. It's called Upgrade. He can upgrade quirks. And Deku thought that was interesting. So Deku just quite literally took it from that man with All For One. But gave him something else instead. He goes like, my guy, I'm gonna take your quirk, but in return I'm gonna give you a better quirk, and he gives him 2 quirks, a copy of like an advanced regeneration, like basically not as good as ultra regeneration, but like if you were to lose a limb, give it half a day, and your arm would, and the limb would be back, or something like that. And shock absorption and a strengthening quirk. Basically, it gives him the strength of basically gives him the strength to lift a skyscraper. Now, if you're thinking, oh my god, All Might didn't have that much power. Actually, he did in his prime form. Yeah, he could do that. He could lift all that. So, even when he's not in his prime form, he can still lift a skyscraper. So, yeah, he can quite literally lift up more than a skyscraper. And yeah. Deku is the strongest being on the planet. Now, something I should tell you, Deku's had this friend, a childhood friend, since he was a child, basically. And her name's Marionette. And now you may know where I'm going with this, boys. And if you do, kudos. Kudos to you, my guy. Kudos to you. You are Jesus Christ in my images. Anyway, Marionette had to move to France. By the way, Marionette's quirk was actually a quite interesting quirk. It was something on the lines of creation, but she can create anything. But yeah, like I'm talking about, she can create anything including quirks, which Deku's already copied that quirk, copied her quirk. But she has to do, it puts a lot of stress on her body to create quirks. So Deku's given her, another quirk, um, of advanced, regeneration, because he can't copy ultra regeneration, by the way. That'd be too OP. Even I know when something's too OP. Anyway, so basically, whenever she gets the strain on the body, she will start getting it healed. And she'll actually have something called another quirk called strain resistance. Basically, it puts less strain on her body whenever there'd be a strain, and basically allows her to stay in peak physical condition. Even if she hasn't slept in like 3 years, she'll be practically fine. But she'll just be, yeah, she'll be able to perform perfectly fine, but she will feel it, basically. Like, she will feel sleep deprived and everything, but she doesn't necessarily need to go to sleep. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, but she went to Paris. Deku got an offer to go to Paris with All Might. He went like, fuck, yeah, bro. On just, UA High is in Paris, by the way, in this one. Izuku sees Marionette again for the first time in his first year of middle school. Yeah, something like that. His last year of middle school, she transfers in. Oh my goodness. They catch up. After a bit, eventually, Marinette asks Izuku out on a date. Izuku says yes. Bakugo is in love with Marinette. Marinette's in love with Deku. Deku's in love with Marinette. You can kind of see where it's going. Bakugo bullies the fuck out of Deku. Bakugo got his quirk back, by the way. It's not his quirk. It's his quirk, but Deku gave him an advanced regeneration because he kind of felt bad for all the bullying he got for being a quirkless little kid. And he gave him something. He boosted his quirk, basically. With the enhancer quirk he has. And he did that to all of his own quirks, even with the advanced healing for Marionette and Katsuki. Because advanced healing is about 3 levels below ultra regeneration, but with the upgrade, it's about 1 level below. And he also upgrades a few other quirks like the strengthening, 1 for all for 1, none for none. And yeah, basically, he became God. His shock absorption got upgraded, his spring-like limbs got upgraded. His, all of his quirks got upgraded. His Doom guy quirk got upgraded. He can summon the fucking Crucible, my guy. Yeah. And when he fights his enemies, he gets a not a 4% boost. He gets a 10% boost in strength, he gains 10% in all stats. A 10% stat upgrade. Yeah. Which originally it was 2, but now it's 10. Now that's a big jump because it got enhanced. he gains 10% of the opponent's power when he defeats them, sorry. And he's just been going at fight clubs, like quirk, where you can use your quirk and fight clubs, beating the shit out of everyone, every night, new people. And he's been gaining a lot of power, my guy. Like, I'm telling you. Sorry. I'm telling you, like, if Deku, like, if the whole entire world and joined together to fight Deku, they would lose. Deku can legit lift the entire solar system. But yeah, anyway, guys, I'm gonna have to go. Bye bye.